CJ, I greet you.
Where's CJ, come forward, please. I know you're humble, bro. What's that? Pasumi. Really? Okay. Please come already. It's our second facilitator.
You know, when Astobi told me about this thing, I was like, so this thing I'm going away from has finally caught up with me. You know, it's been long. I know it's part of my ministry in terms of business, you know, but I've been looking for that opportunity. So when he told me, I can't just say, literally, I'm a shy person. I will just find a way to, you know, dodge it. But and I said, well, I had to do what I had to do. Basically, let me give my best from what I think God has taught me. But I'm blessed today. I learned one thing today. You know, find one thing and major in it. And I think mine is wisdom. Because that's where it comes from. And creativity. Thank you, sir. It's all my time. Anymore.
You have to. This is my third.
Okay. Alright, I'm not going to read from book, so I want to share my experience.
Can we increase his volume?
I want to share from my experience, so I'm not going to give you handouts. So I'll use my experience, my engagement, you know, to help us today. You know, from the timeline they gave me, I have to start with startups. You know, honestly, with post-COVID era and all those challenges we are going through now, starting a business is the best thing that can happen to you. But the truth is that it comes with challenges. But it's not that kind of challenges you run away from. It takes guts to start business. But there's nothing that can change your life than business. Honestly speaking, you know, for me, when I graduated, from day one, I knew, Pastor will tell you, I knew I'm not designed to work for anybody. So even when I was in university, I started business even when I was in school. So when I left, there was one day I went for an interview. My mother was like, I know you don't even work there. You're just going there to waste time. But I just want to look around. And one thing I think I have grace for, personally, is I can use 1 naira and turn it into millions. In fact, there's no business that I started, I'm doing now, that I started with 100,000. That's one thing I know I have grace for. So starting a business is challenging, but if you succeed in starting a business, honestly speaking, the sky is your starting point. It has its challenges though, but don't run away from it because there's no other way you can be wealthy if you don't have a business. Now, how do you start a business? For me, I said I will not read books for you. For me, naturally, I'm a very observant person. I learned it from our father, Reverend Chibuzor. If you are very observant in life, you will catch business ideas because, you know, business, somebody will tell you, open a pure water factory. There are a lot of businesses that are common. That's probably, provision shop. My neighbor just opened a provision shop, you know, let me just open my own. I don't engage business from that angle. Even when there's some businesses I have in my portfolio that I've not started. Either because I'm waiting for the right time, or I'm not getting the resources. When I mean resources, intangible resources. To really, because I don't believe that money can stop me from doing business. There's never a business I started that money was a challenge. It's not that I have the money, but once I have the idea, I always find a way around it and it happens. So I observe a lot. I can be walking along the street now and I will see a nylon. Like everybody that knows me closely, I will just pick it. Hey Joe, what are you putting on the floor? I will just pick it and just put it in my pocket. For me, it's a business idea. So when I look at it, and there's one grace I have, There's no product I will look at I cannot manufacture. I don't need to. There's no, you know a little about that. Once I see a product, I looked at the ingredient on the label. It's a deal done. Even if I don't engage in it, I will just keep it. I will tell you, I can do this thing. You know, I produce icing sugar presently. So when I was growing, I started icing sugar about 5 years ago. But I had serious challenges that's why I say if you want to start a business, you have to have guts. I would have run away since. Is it from machine breakdown? Because when I asked for the price of machine in America, they was telling me about $250,000 for one machine. They didn't stop me. So I went to camp to do, you know, this normal grinding machine that they used to grind tomato. So I thought, that's why I say most times you can learn from scratch. So I bought that machine, 50,000, I can never forget. So when I poured sugar into it, I knew that this thing cannot grind sugar. So funny enough now, the man that did it for me now told me that this one he will do for me that should bring money. You know, from my humble beginning, all those money I was speaking, this man charged me, it was 5 years ago, charged me 350,000 naira. I remember that day I went to pick that machine with my dad. I brought the machine to my site and we powered it. The machine cannot grind 1 pint of sugar. You know, sugar has this property that it binds. Yes. So most times it's not grindable easily. So I was frustrated. Every day I'll be researching machines, what do I do, this, that. I went to my friend in city, Science Equipment Development Institute, you know. They helped me to develop a machine. But there's something I found out. Everybody doesn't have all the knowledge that I needed. Even the people that I thought that they are ahead of me. So I was left for myself to fend for that business because I go to study, they design machines for me, I come back, I'm still having challenges. I go to camp, they say this person is the highest machine fabricator, I'm having challenges. So I now knew I have to go to God and design machine myself. But so the breakthrough in that particular product that I'm doing now was one day, I was challenged. I was like, where will I get $250,000 to get one machine that will give me what I want? And the ones I did from city is giving me challenge, like multiple grinding to get the finest that will ice a cake. So one day I was thinking, I was praying to God. You know, that's why I'm not following the dotted line. Just be taking the most important thing for what I'm saying. That's where God factor comes into business because how can I explain it? Normally now, maybe I will go to bank or I will just resign to faith. And the truth is that business is not for starters. That particular business is not for starters. All my competitors are multi-billion companies. There's none of my competitors that are doing business in tens of millions. So I knew they can afford that machine. So I had to go to God in prayer. Do you know what God told me? Keep on trying. So I still use that machine. I will wake up in the morning, redesign it, call 1 or 2 technicians, call from city, call this one, do this like this, do this like this. I'm still not getting results. I'll still go to God in prayer and say, keep on trying. So one day, and I spend thousands, millions, you know, I can get the machines down and finally it won't even work out. So if you don't have God, you won't do business. Or if you have a feeble mind, any little thing, I brought my goods, I didn't sell it, so let me go back. No. I'm just at the beginning stage of my business. So now imagine those guys that are there, like I report what they pass through. It's the same thing with ministry. So you have to work hard, and you have failures, you have disappointment. So it's not a rosy glasses. Honestly speaking, there was a time I would go to camp like 10 times a day. Like I would go to camp, come back, fix one bearing. Once we start the machine, I'll get I will go back again, buy the same bearing, fix it in that machine, it will break again 5 times. So now, you might say there's an ancestor pursuing me. But those process taught me that knowledge that I needed, that even, I think nobody can design machine more than me now. God was teaching me those dotted lines. Because from there I will now know, oh, this one is not in alignment. So even when I call technicians, they'll be talking, I'll be laughing. Because I'll allow them to express the knowledge. But once you start going out of alignment, I'll tell you, no, I think this, I think this. So one day, my friend, they said, they told me, I think you understand this business more than us now. But it's God that taught me. So now, the last breakthrough I actually had in that machine was when I wasn't expecting it. I've given up. So God now told me, I woke up one morning, he now gave me a design in a dream. So when I was meditating, he said, go and commission a machine. So I said, if I go to sell it, it will be very expensive. Before they assemble this machine, I'll be spending millions. So let me get all those guys in the camp that I know. So I buy material myself, tell them what to do. So that was exactly what I did. I told the guy, see, I want a machine. I was just drawing it for him. I said, it has to go this way, it has to go this way, it has to go this way. The guy said it's not possible, that the machine will be vibrating. I said, no, I want a machine that will reduce the grinding time. One, that if anything happens in it, it will take 2 minutes to service. Because before, other machines that we have, if it breaks down now, for us to fix it, it will take the whole day. We'll end up not doing anything that day. So I now told him, I want a machine that it won't take more than 2 minutes to fix. Just pull it out, fix the net or fix whatever that is wrong, and continue. He said it's not possible. I said, just do what I asked you to do. So we started implementing. I got the materials, I have 3 of that machines now. That machine gave me capacity that even in 20 years, there's no way I could have done that, because I didn't know what God was preparing me for. You see, it's just good to serve God, irrespective, like, we can talk about business, but if you are talking about business and you are not putting God first, I don't understand, because me, I've tried the other way around though. I've done business out of flesh. I've done business by, in fact, I know all those things. So the only one that is working for me now, when I was talking with Pastor, I thought the only one that's working for me now is my relationship with God though, because I can go to him and tell him, teach me this thing. Even this season now, Nigeria is very rough. We are having challenges with raw materials. There's this thing that happened 2 days ago. Let me give you an example. One company was paying me about 10.5 million. So, and I needed money. But I knew, technically, they just learned to pay me in bits. I just went to my room, I said, I command 50% of that fund today. You have to be a prophet in your business. You know the funny thing? Immediately, I was just doing something else the next day, because when I was observing my midnight watch, so the next day, I was somewhere, Allah came into my phone. They were paying me 10,500,000. I saw an alert of 5,250,000. Bam! There's a principle there. I left everything I was doing and I started giving thanks. It was one of the secrets I have learned. In fact, that changed my life is thanksgiving. God, nothing finishes in the hands of a thanksgiver. No matter how bad things are, don't play with thanking God. I don't play with it. And there's something about thanking God. It's just like you now. If I give you money, and probably later you say thank you. You thank me either way. Then I give you money now and you thank me immediately. Thanksgiving has levels. Or probably I give you money, you keep on thanking me. I thank you for that 100 naira. Maybe you see me again, thank you for that 100 naira. I will be disposed to do more for you. One, I'll be wondering, this guy that is just thanking me for 100 naira. So what will he do if I give him 1,000? So thanksgiving has dimensions. How we thank God matters. So I knew immediately that money came in, I started thanking God. I don't have to wait. Naturally, I would have maybe wait till I go to my room when I want to pray. But I learned that secret. I think Holy Spirit just taught me that thing. I started thanking God immediately. That place. So, part of the thing you do when you want to do a business is feasibility studies. And feasibility study is a long subject in business. So, but bottom line, what I do when I want to get a business idea, I can walk into ShopRite, for example. Like all those spare time people use to flex around. I can walk into ShopRite or more. I'll be looking from shelf to shelf. So they call it window shopping. So you mustn't go to buy for you to get ideas. So I'll be moving from shelf to shelf, looking at products. The one that got my attention, I'll look at it, look at ingredients, probably check how fast it's moving. So if you observe the environment a lot, you can get business ideas, honestly speaking. Because if we begin to give you list of business idea you can do, it's plenty. But what matters most is the one that your spirit caught for yourself. So if you observe the environment a lot, if you pay attention to details, you will always get a business idea, especially if you are thinking about it. But if you are looking for, who will give me a business idea, most times it doesn't come that way. If you are intentional, I want a business idea, and you're observant, Holy Spirit will drop it. Because you know why? Tailoring, everybody is doing tailoring now. So what will make that difference with your own? But Holy Spirit can tell you, produce boxers and pants. Do you know there are boxers and pants is a big industry? Everybody does clothing, senator. But how many people are doing pants and boxers? I don't know if you understand.
Yes, sir.
So those are the kind of, for me, I like businesses that I would do. I will be that in a place that maybe even if like now, what I'm doing, even though I have competitions, competitors, that doesn't shake me because where I am, I'm at my own level. You understand? But it takes that alignment with God to really understand those things. I don't take my prayer life casual. Since I learned it, I take it serious. So as a Christian businessman or somebody that wants to start a business, honestly, I will encourage you to do that. So then let me talk about business plan. Like I said, all these are topics on its own, so I want to give you a preview of what it looks like. Business plan is, for example, there was a time I wanted to do seed production. All those growers, starters, those of you that is into agriculture. I knew there was a time I wanted to venture into that business. So what did I do? I went to new markets and I found one of those guys that's into it. So I told him, please, I want to learn how to do this. He now said, no problem. But you have to come and be working with us. I said, no problem. Can you allow me to work for 3 months? He said, I won't pay you. I said, there's no problem. So what I do in the morning, I'll drive to new markets, park my car, carry my changing clothes. You know how dusty that place looks like. And I did it for 3 months. And part of, even though I didn't do that business again, but what I'm doing with Isaac Sugar now, I learned from that place. That was, do you understand? So things can lead to something, but you don't just say, I want to do this business. You have to go and study it. You have to go and learn about it. You mustn't know everything about any business you want to start. But the wisdom suggests that at least go to somebody that is doing it and offer yourself to learn it. You get insight. Probably you see what they are not doing better, and how you can improve that business. So let me go to funding. Well, it's not easy to grow from bank now. You understand? But one idea that I know that helps me is most times, like this is my brother that called me, my cousin that called me 2 days ago, that he needed money for business or to buy, I think, a camera. And I told him, when he was talking to me, he said he needed a certain amount of money that he will pay back. The only thing is that I will give him time to pay back. So when he made that statement, and I knew that no specific whatever attached to it. You know what I told him? I said, he needed how much? 150,000. I said, fine. He said, look for 5 people or 7 people that you know that can give you 20,000 for free. That I will give you 20 for free. So and I said, call 3 guys, at least call 3 of my brothers, at least from my family, you can get 100. Call some person, they can give you 20,000 for free. So that you go and do your business. So that it won't be that I borrowed you money and tomorrow. So, and he did that and he got the money. So nobody finances you more than your friends and family. The only problem we have is that most times our business ideas are too ambiguous that you can't start with little money. That's the problem. Okay, if you want to do a business that takes you a lot of money, you should be saving now, probably until the time. But naturally, for me, when I want to do business, even though the one I have in mind, I can't fund it now, I go back to the ones I can fund. So that let me be doing something and probably raise money to now do that one. I don't know if you're getting me. So maybe, okay, another example of business. There's some businesses you don't really need to spend much money. For example, what I do, I'm into manufacturing. So I don't spend money, my own business idea, I don't spend money in trying to beautify my place of work. I get my machines, get my raw materials. That is the most important thing I need. Then over time, I can do other things. But now, for example, you want to do a baking business, you went and hire a shop, probably are paying, let's say, 300,000 a year, and you spend another 300,000 to get it in place. Now, you have left with 1,000. You cannot even buy one bag of flour. I don't know, am I making sense?
Yes.
So, but you can start that thing from your house. After all, the world is a global village, and you can start it from your house. Do your production, because the most important thing is your raw material. So, if you hire a place 1 million and you don't have 50,000 to put the goods and services, it doesn't make sense. And that's the problem you see everywhere. You see somebody, they will spend millions in getting a gigantic place, furnish it to the peak. But when you enter there, you see few people. In 3 years, they will close down. Those are small wisdoms. Like me, I don't engage anything, any business that will take me that fund. Because there's some business, honestly, if you don't present excellence, you cannot sell. So I'm not saying there are not businesses like that. So what I'm trying to say, if you have that kind of business in mind, look for the one that you can start, that can fund that one. So that, you understand, it won't place a burden. You know, I don't know how to explain it, but I think I'm making sense. Okay, now making profit. See, passion is not enough. Any passion that cannot translate money to money, or a commercial enterprise doesn't make sense. I have passion to, I don't know how to explain it. Whatever it is you have passion for, if you cannot translate it into money, or if it's not commercial, you cannot mass produce it or render it as a service to people, you better just look for something else to do. Because business is all about the bottom line. The bottom line is about making profits. When you go into business, some challenges, some factors might make you not to make profits. Your job is to mitigate those factors, study the business along, and see where you save cost. Because it's all about saving cost. It's all about saving cost. Like in my factory now, am I working? The generator is on, the machines are on. All those guys will just be playing. When I come in, I don't like order, like somebody I'm going to do something. I said, the machine is on for crying out loud. The generator is steaming, and you are playing in the machine. It's time frame. It's money that is good. That generator you are hearing outside is diesel that is going. So you don't have to play there. I said you have to make sure we mitigate cost here. And I found out that Staffing is a very big issue in business, but most times it's now that I respect pastors so much because I don't know how they manage to train people, keep them, brother. To get people to work for you is one of the hardest things. Even when you want to be Mr. Nice, my God, that's one of the biggest challenges I'm facing now. I have a guy that stayed with me, let me say for 5 years. So there's this contract that we got, a mega million contract that we got that changed our life. The funny thing? The contract came like today, and it has to expand our capacity. So I was struggling to contain the contract because we are taught, don't say you cannot do this, say you can do all things. So we are trying to contain the thing. The guy started having meetings with my staffs to frustrate me. When I got here, I pretended, I told my wife, no, that's let me manage this people because there's no how you can navigate through this thing if you didn't manage them. The team increased. One day I came to work. I didn't see anybody. Except the new ones that came, let me say, there's some that are not up to 1 month with me because I moved into a new place. And I called them, what's the problem? They said, no, Aga, you're not working today. Do you understand? I said, what's the reason? They said, no, it's our decision. I said, but I increase your salary now. They said, yes, Aga, but you don't want to work today. So I knew, that's why I said, if you're a businessman and you don't involve God, for me, I've learned my lesson. So everything for me, I do more spiritual and I still do physical. And I knew it's an attack to frustrate that breakthrough that we had. So I was talking with one of my pastor's friends. He told me to fire them. I said, how can? At this season, I will do this. He told me to fire them. But when I got to work and I didn't see anybody, I just gave an instruction. Please, the next day, nobody should cross this gate. And I told the ones that are around, don't allow any of so. And those are my workforce, as in my strength. So the next day now, when I came to work, the gate was closed against them. One of them were like, that's not possible now. Oga, once I call Oga now, they were bragging. I can't do without them. But the funny thing? They left. Finally, I fired them. They never entered that place again. CJ, my productivity multiplied times 10. I never knew. Yeah, I don't know if you understand. I never knew that those guys that are just 3 weeks old has the capacity. Wow. I need times 10. That, in fact, I'm looking, because that contract was so big for us that we cannot contain it. But now, in a day, in 1 week, I tidied the others and looked for another one. Wow. But before, it would take me 1 year to actually do that job. I never, when you are prayerful and God will be ordering your step, I never knew that God just sealed those things out. So when they were trying to conspire against me, there's no basis for that because I'm one person that doesn't owe salary, even if, in fact, it's my law. Since I started business, I would rather not eat in my house than to owe salary. I've never tried it. I can say it in the presence of God. I never owed anybody. One thing I know, in fact, all my staff knows me for that. Oga doesn't owe. The best that can happen, CCC, the salary might delay for 1 week because of it. You must get your money. Even if you decide not to work, I pay you. So when I go to pray, I'll be sure that I'm in good standing with God. So I never knew God was trying to move them out. But how can I explain moving my workforce, the major workforce out from the business? My dear, the business, the capacity tripled by 10. Things I never imagined. So which business school will teach you that? I don't know if you're understanding me. Which business school will teach you that? You sack all your staffs and get the new ones and your productivity will multiply. No, but I can't learn it from Harvard Business School. It's just God that will order your steps and make that thing happen. So that's the issue. That's why I say I have a lot of respect for pastors because I don't know how they manage people. Most human beings are the most difficult ones. And let me tell you the truth. I don't know if I should say this in here. The most difficult ones that I met were in church. They're my brethren. I'm telling you the truth. They are the ones that challenge me the most. In fact, they're the ones that even conspire with me. I was like, yeah. You know, so we have to be prayerful. In terms of so now, expanding business, you take it from one step to the other. You know, there's what they call growth pain, like what I experienced. That was the expansion that was coming. I got an order that I was passing through pain because that period, all my body, they're telling me, you know, we are working lengthy hours. How do we deliver this thing? So most times, expansion comes with pain and burden. So once it comes, you have to, but most times, like now, you have to actually, to grow in business, once you contain one level, one secret that I know, it's just like Noah. You know, when God told him about the destruction that was coming, he went ahead and started building ark. So most times, it's not always good to wait for pressure to come for you to expand your business. Most times, you plan ahead. But at times, it can come that way. Maybe God wants to force you out of one level. But whenever it comes that way, God will always bring the grace to help you to mitigate that level. So expanding business comes by is one step at a time. You understand? Maybe you need to move from just like church. Maybe your venue contains 100 people, and you have 200 people or 3. It's either you run 3 services or you take a bigger hall. So it's something that how will I explain it? It comes on its own, but you have to prepare for it, for you to expand your business. But I think I want to charge you guys to really start something, and I will assist anybody, you understand, that really want to, because I'm good with manufacturing. So anything that has to do with that, at least CJ is here to help you. Mine is manufacturing, production, so I might not help you a lot in terms of a lot of things, but if you have passion in that area, maybe you can talk. Then franchising means like, okay, you don't want to start your own business, but maybe as CJ Agro like this now, okay, you want to duplicate CJ's product in another place. That is franchising. You meet the company, they give you the recipe, you pay for franchising, and they will train you because it's their name that we use to run the business wherever you want to run it. Maybe you don't want to start a fresh business, you want an existing business that's already making name, that has a brand, but you want to invest there. That's what franchising means. So you can go to that company, talk with them, and they give you the terms and conditions and train you on how you handle the product or their services. That's what franchising means. I'll be rounding up so that I can take questions. So loans and grants, there's this they call NISRA. How many of you know about NISRA? You can go to NISRA for loan. I think you have to do a course for 1 week now. You pay 10,000 to the facilitators, and they give up to 3 million or something. You have a good business, but it's more of agri-based loan. You know, when we talk about agri-based, they are processing, like me now. It's still agri I'm doing, but I don't think I'm manufacturing, so processing. So it mustn't be this thing. So I think I can take questions from here. I think I'll any question?
Praise God. My question is this. Maybe you want to manufacture something and that product needed NAFDAC number. And as someone that is just beginning and you don't have money, how will you go about it?
Okay. One, money is involved. So there's no how you can take a NAFDAC number without money. But now there's something NAFDAC does now. There's a product, I can't remember the exact name, but don't be discouraged about NAFDAC. Any product that you want to do, that you need NAFDAC number. You know, the challenges with NAFDAC is not even the money. It's the compliance. Like they'll tell you, get to the place, it must be like this, it must be like this. That is even the challenges where money comes in. I think it is what you mean. But now, you can do products in your room and get NAFDAC number. Yes, now. Yes. In your room. They call it CJ. You know what they call it? Yes. The number comes with, like normally, there's what they call national number, like all these 01 dash NAFDAC number. They now have what they call, okay, there's now what they call Enugu state number. So they'll give you, the number will start with EN. So they do it to encourage people to start business. So any business that you want to do now, maybe you are living in 2 rooms, you can use 1 room. NAFDAC will come there and give you NAFDAC number. And I think they're as low as 20,000 naira for the number now. No, I'm talking about NAFDAC. NAFDAC itself. That's NAFDAC number. Do you understand? So go to NAFDAC office. Tell them you want to register for state NAFDAC number. So whatever it is, even if it's off that we are doing, but you want to take it out outside the Enugu. Because you know the challenges with it is, once you want to put it in the shelves of all those stores around, they might say they need NAFDAC number. But now, it's easier. With 100,000 now, you can start a product and register it. Yes. Any other question? You can use this.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, church. Thank you, sir, for this opportunity. And thank you for sharing your experience with us. One of the things you said is failure should not stop us. Like, you don't have to be feeble-minded. Now, I want to ask, are those moments of failure, you said everything is about process. And most times, even when you are failing at that process, God is trying to bring it to an end. So at that moment, because I want to ask you, since you use your experience, what keeps you going at that moment of failure, where you're trying and it's failing, you're trying and it's failing? What keeps you going? What makes you strong?
I just pray one prayer, God help. Because it's not about saying your prayer to. There's some things, challenges we meet there. Everything will just slip out of your mind. True or false? So I just say God's help. There's one prayer I usually pray. I'll just say, if you give me that strength, to wake up the next day and pursue that thing, that is, I just go by the day, because it can be frustrating. You understand? It can be frustrating. So just keep on moving. You'll be depressed. You understand? You will not feel good. But one thing I learned that began to start changing things for me is that thanksgiving that I told you. When you complain and murmur, you're not positioned to get direction. But that is the changing thing for me. I'll complain, this thing is not working well, this thing goes this way. Immediately, it's not easy, but if you can stop complaining and murmuring, my God, direction will be coming to the speed of light. Like there's something that happened to me yesterday. 2 of my generator parts, as I'm talking to you now. Parts yesterday. So we are not even doing any production now. In as much as they are mounting transformer for me, but I know it's going to take 1 month for them to finish the commissioning. But while I was sleeping, I wasn't worried. When I was going yesterday, my staff were looking at me to be depressed. I was just happy. I just told them, just tidy up and go. We'll see today. I didn't come here depressed, like, my factory shut down. No. But while I was waiting, God dropped an idea. And I know once I leave here, I go to camp, hire a generator. Drop, he told me go and hire a generator, and it's for 1 week before those other ones come up. But I didn't been, I sat down complaining, I don't know if you understand. Complaining shuts down imagination. It shuts down creativity. If you can learn not to complain and keep on thanking God, idea will come. Any other question? Okay, I have some list of businesses here. I think you can do. You can do yoga business. Now, you might say it requires NAFDAC number. No. That is, now, if you want to do yoga business, you can do that. I have a friend that was doing yoga business. Homemade yoga. Give to your friends and family. It's even more, what do you call it? It's even more original than those ones they sell on the shelf. You understand? So now, if you start some business and you want to scale, then you have to go to NAFDAC. But like what I just said, start somewhere and get somewhere. Food juice, like where I work out in the morning, and this girl I used to serve us all those smoothie. Today the girl bought a car. Just outside the way I work out. She just come, carry it to Keke, we'll be drinking 1,000 naira. The day she bought a car, I asked her, is it from this business? She told me yes, of course. That she doesn't even service Stadium alone. She goes to sports center. She has a gear that goes to Oral Square. Isn't it a business idea? And those businesses has high profit margin. So that is number 2. I have one business idea here, but that one, I won't give it to you because I think it's capital intensive. Now, powder flavors. You can do powder flavors. I can help any of you that wants to do powder flavors. You understand? Because you can start it as low as 50,000, even 10,000, and it has a high profit margin. Powdered flavor. Yeah, I can help anybody that wants to. Flavor, you use flavor and bakery. All those years, you used to flavor bakery products, whether bread or all these things. Yeah. Then, these peanuts, you see these peanuts that they buy in bottle, that thing is a good business. There's one girl that sells it as HP1. You buy it 1,000 naira every service. You just put it in a bottle. Peanut is a profitable business. You can do it from your house and raise the money to do whatever business you want to do. You don't need NAFDAC number. All you need is expiring dates. Every shop can collect it. Even if it's not about moving out of your comfort zone. You mustn't get a shop and stay one place. Who will buy? You take it to people. I have a friend that sells yogurt every Saturday in camp. Urban camp. Only yogurt will worth 100,000. Or in the camp. Or not the shop to shop. So you have to remove, I don't know how to explain it though. If you follow all that are manufacturers that can stay indoors and get products, if you don't have that grace, you have to be outgoing to succeed in business. So, then I have an auntie that does chin-chin. She has just completed her duplex at the business estate along the bar. She does only chin-chin. She does flavor chin-chin and what they call it, this chin-chin that they mix with chocolate. Brown chin-chin. She has banana chin-chin. She has coconut chin-chin. She just flavor chin-chin. Package it in different whatever. So in terms of packaging, I can help you. Packaging you can do with 5,000 naira and you look international. Because excellence is not about being ambiguous. It's about using what you have to bring the best out of it. That is excellence. So, cookies. That same woman does cookies. You know these cookies they carry around my junction. The day I saw her own, I was like, I thought the machine that would produce cookies that you have to import it from America. She just go to the market here and collect all those molds. Yes. See, forget packaging, I can help you. I can package the product for you. Sorry, I didn't bring my listing, but one thing that happens to me whenever I bring my product in the market, hey, but you know the funny thing? I didn't spend what they think I should spend. Let me give you an example. My iron sugar, my competitors, you see like 10 colors in the designs. And there was what we call cylinder. To produce one cylinder for one color is about 350,000. So imagine now, I'll use 3.5 to do one product, maybe my 1 kg. Then before you go to 5 kg, you go. So what I did, when I wanted to design my own, I just have to spend time with the designer that will give me 3 colors that will still come out. Wow! So when the guy finished, I did only 3 colors. If you see that 3 colors, you'll be confused. It was so fine. So now, what am I trying to say? Excellence is not about being ambiguous. You can use the little thing you have and still get what class, whatever. You understand? So let me go to this business that I have here. Plantain flour, beans flour. When you live in a global community, you have your phone now, your Facebook, your WhatsApp. You don't need a machine to do plantain flour now. You just buy a boy here now, a boy, the package here. I don't know if you understand. Just the packaging, I can help you, give you a world-class packaging. It's here and start to give them an answer. Then that's when scaling up comes. When people start buying, you can now start scaling by going to NAFDAC, putting it in shelves. Then when my friend now supply me, there was a day I was driving him, I was going to supply plantain flour. Open Calabar kitchen. And I go 10,000 here, and I go 18,000 here. And I said to myself, if you supply plantain flour to maybe 10% of the restaurants in Enugu, what kind of work are you looking for? I don't know if you understand. But you have to get out of your comfort zone and think. Like beans flour, what else do I write here? It's in all services. Okay, cocoa flour. Okay, the kind of cocoa flour. So I think
some of these things are good, like the plantain flour, are good for diabetic patients.
Yeah.
So you just look for somebody that is diabetic. Are you getting me? Like a plantain flour, especially the unripe plantain flour. Even cocoyam is less in sugar and carbohydrates than. So just locate there are many places you hang around hospitals. Are you getting me?
Yes.
You have those ones you can say special for diabetic patients. Package here, hang around hospitals. Are you getting what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. All these floors carry. Alibor, this one, different things. Then I don't know when I talked about drinks. We're getting into hot season now. All kinds of drinks. Are you getting me? From your yogurt to your soya milk to your all those drinks now. Tiger nut to smoothie to fruity to whatever. This is the season.
And they are very high profit margin businesses. So
Yes.
see, it's even easier to make money at that level than when you come to manufacturing level. But that's where I save most of my money to get to where I am now. Because if you want to dive into manufacturing from high, for example, you don't import products from abroad, so you want to challenge with all these blue chip companies. And let me give you an advice until Nigeria gets better. Once you are thinking about a business idea, look for a business idea that has a local content, that your raw material does not depend on
Importation.
for now.
Forex one.
For now, because you might not compete with those guys up there that can import your container. So if after somebody in the market imports or Lagos imports, sell to Onitsha, sell to Enugu, and you come to buy, you can't. I don't know if you understand this. Thank you, sir, for your
Thank you.